So this is a 2-day trip. Today's game is Brechin City versus Hearts, and tomorrow is FC United of Manchester versus Blythe Spartans. So with this being a 2-day trip, I obviously had to pack a bag. Now, the issue with taking a bag and you're going to football or any sporting event, but particularly football, you're going to get searched. Some grounds don't like you taking bags in. Yeah, you could leave it somewhere, but that can cost you quite a bit of money. I mean, it can cost like £6-7, and you've got to go pick it up after, and you've got to have the time to do that, and it can become quite a blag. So what I try and do is assess the situation and see what I can do about reducing what I'm taking with me to not taking a bag at all, or taking a smaller bag that I can actually pocket everything if necessary. And then there would be other scenarios where I just would have to go even lighter than I've gone here. Say I was going to a bigger game, like a Premier League game or something. Most of them you were going to be thoroughly searched, and you wouldn't even be able to take in what I've got here. So tonight I'm obviously going to the Brechin City game, and then tomorrow I'm going to FC United. So I won't have to take anything to Brechin's ground because I can leave it in the hostel in Edinburgh. But then when I check out of the hostel tomorrow morning, I'm going to be left with everything, and then I've got to get that into FC United's ground. Now, they would check a bag there, they'd probably let you in with it, but they won't search you. So I can put all this in my pockets, or what's left of it. Obviously some of this won't be there when I get into that ground, so I can get it all into the thing, and I then don't have to put my bag anywhere or go through the hassle of getting my bag searched and having stuff taken off me or whatever. So let's just go through with what I've got. We'll start right at the back. As you can see there, right at the back, I've got 2 pork pies. Now, you might think, oh, that's going to be horrible after a while in your pocket. So they're both frozen when I took them out this morning. Wrap them in a bit of tissue paper and plastic bag, and they can slowly defrost. That means that even tomorrow should still be fairly fresh, and I can put one of them in the fridge in the hostel when I get to the hostel, and that one will stay cool until the morning. So obviously got some red sauce to go with the some ketchup to go with the pork pies. Obviously they won't take up any space. I can just sellotape them to the top of the pork pie, so that's no space at all. Now you'll see on the left of the picture there, next to the pork pies, is a little grey sack. That actually contains the backpack that I'm going to take with me. So you can see I can reduce the backpack to a very small size, and that, as you can imagine, goes easily into your pocket. So what do I need to take? What's the minimum stuff I'm going to need to take? So below that, obviously, in the black and orange small sacks, that's my glasses and my radios. We spoke about those before. Take them. I've got like sort of binocular glasses. If you haven't seen that before, take them everywhere with me. Helps me see screens, like at a train station, bus station, or from a takeaway or something, looking at the menu over the kiosk there. That's handy for those kinds of things. Normally I would just take a picture and enlarge it on my phone, but sometimes that's not viable, so I've got those with me as well. Also, it is good for watching some sports, maybe not football, because obviously you want to see the whole pitch, and binoculars reduce you just to seeing a very small part, but great for cricket. Anyway, the next thing is the next to those is on the right hand side is some beef jerky. You've got 2 packs of beef jerky. Now obviously you've got a pork pie for me tea on tonight, and I've got a pork pie for tea tomorrow night. So for lunch I can have a pack of beef jerky today and a pack of beef jerky tomorrow, and then just below that is an apple which can serve as breakfast tomorrow. Again, very easy to put in your pocket, those beef jerkies, but I'll have eaten both of those before I have to convert the bag. And the apple, obviously I'll have eaten that as well. Below that is in the maroon case is my passport, which I will need, obviously because I'm partially sighted. I don't drive, so the only photo ID I possess is my passport. It's annoying having to take it round, but it is a thing that you do need when you go into hostels. I think it's to prevent vagrancy in hostels. You have to have photo ID to check into a hostel, so I have to take that with me. Now below that you'll see is a small travel razor. I hate having any kind of stubble on that, it really annoys me, so always take my razor with me. Again, that's easily slipped into my pocket, no problems. Next to that I've got 2 pairs of socks because it's damn cold, easily rolled up, and I can put those on in the morning as fresh socks. Now to the left of those, obviously got a mini travel toothbrush, again very simple and easy to take with you, and a pair of boxers obviously to change into again, all easy to roll up. Now above that you'll see a little green a little green square. That is a deodorant wipe. They are basically the most disgusting thing you will ever touch in your life. They're like a really sticky baby wipe, but they are great. Smell a little bit medicated, but obviously means you don't have to take a deodorant tin with you, which could be something that could get taken off you or whatever in a football ground and stuff. And also it's the smallest thing you can buy. It's great, you can just fit in your wallet, no problem. That and now above that you'll see a very scraggly pair of shower slippers. I actually picked them up when I was in China. They were in the room in the hotel in China, and I've kept them. I've actually got quite a few pairs over the years, but these pair are very thin, so they can again just be folded up and put in your pocket. Now the reason I take these around is because when you move around a hostel, you don't want to put your shoes on and off, and they're easy to just slip on, and obviously when you go back into the shower or the toilet, it's handy to have something to have on your feet. So I keep those with me when I'm in hostel at all times, and again they're thin and easy to use. Now between the shower slippers and Apple, you'll see I've got 2 extra charges. That's 2 extra charges to the normal power packs I would take. The reason I do this is this situation is getting better as we go on with time, but there are, when you go to hostels, sometimes you might find that you're not near a plug, so you don't get to charge your phone at night. So if you've used your power pack in the day, you're not going to be able to charge your power pack up, and you can't charge your phone up, and that makes life difficult, especially if you're going to get into a hostel late, which I am going to do tonight. So that's an issue. Most hostels are now getting to the point where they're putting chargers, power sockets by the bed, but that's maybe not always the case. So you've always got to be aware that that's an issue. So I take 2 of those with me. I can carry 4, they're small. I've got small ones there, so I can carry 2 extras, that's not an issue. Above that, you will see above the shower slippers there, I've got a small flannel. Now, in a lot of hostels, you might have to pay for a towel, so that's extra money to spend. So what I would do here is I'd take that small flannel and I'd actually use that to dry myself with. Now that sounds a bit stupid, I know, but it is possible. It's a bit awkward, but obviously I don't have long hair or whatever, so that's not an issue. I can dry myself with one of them, and again, it's take a little plastic bag with you, and obviously once it's wet, put it in a plastic bag, and then you can just fold that up into your pocket. No problems at all. So that is everything I take with me when I'm going to do a trip like this, when I can reduce everything down to in my pockets. I've got a jacket, which is again a roll-up jacket, which is not the normal jacket I would take. It's a roll-up jacket, which I'll show you in another picture in a moment. And I can stick everything in the pockets there, and I know I'm not going to get searched at the other ground, so I can put everything in my pockets and I can get in, and I won't have the hassle of having the bag. I can reduce the backpack down, and then I can put everything back in the backpack once I leave the ground again, and it works well. So as you can see, everything fits in the pockets of the jacket. I've just put them in there to show you. It sits in the pockets of the jacket without any real issue or looking daft or whatever, so that's good. And here is the rucksack packed up, obviously taken out his little sack and unfolded, and then everything put in it. So again, it's a great piece of equipment. While I was waiting for the train, I put my videos up on social media. I added some games to my games being tool list whilst on the train to Crewe. I had about an hour to wait at Crewe, so it was a good productive hour doing some stuff, putting some stuff on eBay and Vinted. Also, while we're on the subject of eBay and Vinted, I got this message on my Vinted account. Can you see there? Just people just being horrible for no reason. I don't understand mentality of somebody who would just see a product on Vinted there and decide they didn't like it and just make fun of a person. It's a product, I'm selling it, I don't want it anymore, I'm selling it. I don't really see why, because you think it's a silly product, you should really have any right to have a go at me about it or make fun of me about it. And then he's obviously reported this to Vinted, saying it's an improper product, just to spite me, because I don't know why. It just seems such a terrible thing to do. And why people are so destructive to other people in life, I don't understand that mentality. Why you would be so destructive to any stranger at all. You know, this person knows nothing about me, nothing about the product I'm selling, or anything, and they just choose to stick their nose in and just be destructive. So I can't sell that product now. That goes against my name. And for nothing, I've done nothing to that person. It's just somebody being mean and horrible. I can't stand that in life. I think it's horrible. So I arrived at the hostel. I was able to check in early. I had arranged that as I'm going to be having to get the bus out to Brechin, so I arranged to have an early check-in, and that was done fine. They accepted that fine, no charge for that. And when I got there, I was quite swiftly dealt with, and I got into the room. Unfortunately, I am on the top bunk, as you can see here from the 3. Not great, but that's the gamble you have to take when you're in a hostel. It'll work fine. It's only a couple of hours, so I'll just get on with that. That's fine. As you can see, this one does have charging points right next to the bed, so that's good. Obviously, I knew that already. I stayed here quite regular. This was £11 to stay here, so that's all done. I've left my bag behind, and now I can get off to Brechin. So I walked back down to where the bus was going from. It's actually going from outside Haymarket Station, and I checked out the bus stop, found that no problem, and I had about an hour or so to kill. So I went and had a quick drink in platform 5, which is a bar just opposite Haymarket Station. Whilst I was in there, I did some video editing. I also had time to add some stuff to eBay and Vinted. On arriving in Brechin, I had a couple of drinks with some friends in the Brechin Bowling Club. I got a lift back as far as Edinburgh Park Station. So time to head back south via Manchester for the second game of this trip. I sat in Haymarket Station and I had a drink and an apple I brought with me. I obviously bought the drink because I wasn't too sure whether the hostel kitchen would be open early, so I didn't bring anything to make a drink, but obviously brought an apple for breakfast. So I bought a tea and sat and waited for the train and had that. So despite the train being a little bit late, I got to the ground in plenty of time, had a drink before the game, also added some stuff to eBay and Vinted. So that's it for this trip. I got a little bit money back from the railways as the train between Edinburgh and Manchester was delayed by about 30 minutes, so I got back half my fare, so that reduces my total cost to £150. I listened to the game on Friday night at Brechin on the TV commentary because that's all I could get. BBC did an online commentary TV production of it, so I listened to that on BBC Sport Online. And then for Saturday, FC United Radio, again, which I've spoken to you about as being a great service in the past. I was able to use that on the Saturday, so both free services, so that didn't cost me anything to do that.